The growth in Nigeria's infrastructural development requires adequately skilled artisans for an improved real estate sector. This edition of the Nigeria Property Show beams a searchlight on the need to retrain this very important group for a vibrant real estate. Welcome, I am Remi Oladende.
The construction industry is witnessing a boom all over the world, and Nigeria is not left out, catalyzing an increased demand for building artisans. We're talking about block molders, bricklayers, carpenters, plumbers, and tilers. Are they up to date with the skills required to improve this industry? What are the salient roles if the construction industry and the built construction environment will improve? To educate us is Builder Adelaja Adekombi. Builder Adekombi is a registered builder, chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Building in Lagos, a member of the Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, and is presently the zonal coordinator of the federal government N-Build project to train building artisans. Good morning, Builder Adekombi.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Now tell us, what exactly is the role of professional bodies in the built industry to improve the quality of building artisans?
The professional body that I belong to, Nigeria Institute of Building, have taken it upon them advocating on training of the artisan. We have several projects going on, train the trainers, train the artisan, and one of the style system we are using is bringing the artisan together. We have agreed to meet them at their point now by gathering the association, because most of them have association they belong to. We're coming together to work with them and also make sure that we bring the issue of training more trainers, so able to have more of them in Hestes.
What exactly is the level of professionalism required to be a building artisan?
Yes, to be a building artisan is very easy. It's not, you don't have to go to school, go to all that you need just to have idea, maybe at the secondary level that you can read and write. Because without you able to write the materials, explain yourself to client, there's nobody that will understand what you're saying. So you need a bit education, which I believe that ordinary secondary level is okay for anybody to learn. And that does not still disturb people who has higher degree to also be an artisan.
Are you saying that the secondary school living certificate is the minimal requirement to become a building artist?
No, it is not good for you to enter any business when you cannot communicate. We have some people who drop out from school who also enter into the trade, but they don't seem to get the perfection, because communication is very important. So that's why we're looking at, for you to be able to be a very good person on your field, you need to have a educative background that can lead you to become a master on whatever you know how to do, either bricklaying or carpentry. So an inability for you not to be able to write, communicate to your client. And that's why we said, okay, let's have a benchmark of secondary school or any dropout from secondary school who can write very well, can be able to explain himself to the client. because it's another thing is for you to know the job, another thing is for you to able to communicate with your client. Let's understand what the client want. It's very important. Is if not, you might able not to grow in the ladder of profession you know how to do.
You talked about train the trainers.
Yeah.
That's NILBs. That's what the Institute of Building is doing for the core building artisans.
Yes.
Tell us more about it. Train the trainers.
The core job of Nigerian Institute of Building is to train a professional builders. And the training of the artisan is another segment under Nigerian Institute of Building. But basically, what they train professionals who have gone through a higher school like universities and polytechnic. After coming out from there, they will have to undergo examination period, tutelage period, and write a technical report about all your experience when you started working before you become a builder. We find out that being a professional is not enough because you can't do the work alone. You need artisan craftsman to work with. So before we can do anything, we have to educate there's two artisans that we have on ground. There is some we call some with prior knowledge, the people that already knows the job, and there are some other people that have not even have the idea of the job, that they are just willing to start.
Are you saying that? Are you talking about those who have a prior knowledge? Somebody who, for one reason or the other, the parent has said, go ahead and learn bricklaying from somebody by the roadside. Go ahead and learn plumbing from this plumber that I know. Are you talking about people who have learned, who have gone through some kind of apprenticeship from somebody and they now want to become a proper builder artisan?
What we're saying is that the people that have a prior knowledge are people who have one way or the other left their school and start training under someone and have the knowledge. And we have discovered that knowledge is not enough for them. They know about it very well, some know very well, but the perfection is not there. So we come in, make sure that we give them all the necessary detailing that we need in perfecting their job. And some who does not have a prior knowledge, who is already willing, having a mind that they want to have a handwork on their own, then we also gather them together and start giving them both practical and theoretical knowledge.
What is the Institute of Building doing to bridge the skill gap between university graduates, polytechnic graduates, and then school certificate leavers?
But what NLB is doing now to be able to fill the gap is that we, like I said, we have people that come into to become a builder. So you have to go through the educational training. But now we have just discovered that we need excess of our artisans in the country because of the infrastructure development that we are going through. We segment them into two. Some have a prior knowledge, some does not have a prior knowledge. So the people that does not have a prior knowledge are people who is willingly to learn, and some who does not have any idea about it. They just want to learn it. And what we have done is that a year program that we'll be having 3 months in the classroom, and they also go through 9 months at the technical place of training. So they'll be going through that for 9 months and 3 months in the classroom for us to be able to communicate how effective they will become after they finish the training. And they'll be spending 9 months outside the classroom for training, and they'll be attached to some companies that have the professional that are working under them to be able to get the knowledge, and after then we release them for dispatch them for them to be able to be on their own.
What are the long-term prospects of this training?
And the federal government project is just for us to have enough, like they have a budget of 10,000 artisans per year just to bridge the gap of lack of artisans in Nigeria. Now, what we at Coburn level, we're having a synergy with federal government to make sure that this gap is covered up in no time. And that's why we believe that in less than 2-3 years, we'll be having an artisan that has capable to able to work very well and then can be on their own.
It's the second time you're saying we must encourage our children to also be part of this. Nobody wants their child to set out to say that I want to become a block molder, a bricklayer. It's because Nigeria is a certificate country. Everything boils down. Even if you can't do the job, once you can produce a good certificate, it's not. So really, I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean by encourage our children to also become artisans?
Well, we find out that having certificate does not even help sometimes. Some people have the best result, but when it comes to performance, it's always very difficult for them to do. What everybody will learn, we have been learning it. So what we decide not to do in Nigeria, some people go out of Nigeria to do it. So we are beginning to realize the truth that the problem in Nigeria concerning artisan, craftsman, it is not certificate issue. You can have a certificate. There's nothing stopping you to have the certificate and also have the knowledge, train people, and then have your firm. You can start by having a supply labor into the system. Like let me digress a bit. I was told by a friend now that there is a firm in Dubai that is coming to Nigeria to look for artisan, and that are now beginning to give edge to us. People are now beginning to rush into it now, believing that, having the belief now that, so you can actually go outside the country to go and do what you know how to do. It is not all about certificate. There is a open. People are beginning to realize it now, and I believe in no time that the area of certificate will be out of the system. People will work on what they know how to do.
What exactly is the focus of the federal government training program for building artisans?
Yes, the focus, the idea behind what federal government is doing, that it's not enough for people to graduate from school and be roaming about the streets, that they don't have job, they can't get job. But you can be a job provider. Why don't you be a job provider? And that's why they look into it. Okay, let's bring the idea of rather allowing a lot of people on the streets and say there's no job. Who is going to employ you? Then you can be employer of labor by trying to pick on one of those trades that we talk about.
After all this training and retraining, what is the monitoring mechanism put in place to ensure that this person who is going to become a builder is actually following on the knowledge given?
That's the work of a professional builders. Monitoring of the artisan. That's the work of professional builders. Artisan sometimes does not have their own. They have a lot to do, but somebody must be thinking along with him as he's doing it. That's the work of a professional builders. Monitoring of the artisan. That's the work of professional builders. Artisan sometimes does not have their own. They have a lot to do, but somebody must be thinking along with him as he's doing it. The professional builders will be say, you stop. Let's do it this way. Let's do this way. So he will be the one giving check and balances on the training that he knows, and also the builders also inculcate another ideas into him.
What is the level of collaboration between professionals in the built industry and the various technical colleges?
The Artisans of Building is working with Las Vegas, which is in charge of technical school in Lagos. We are working with some other technical school, even outside here, outside Lagos. The federal government project has been, most of the center or the technical college we are using as the center. So the collaboration between the technical school and the professionals are very intact. Severally, we were having some programs together on training of the artisans, like Las Vegas, like some other technical center that we have, a training center, because as we have a technical school, we also have some centers that are individual centers that are also doing some trainings in Lagos.
If a child has a unique talent in repairing things around the house, nobody is going to tell their child, go to a technical college
or just go to a center, to a private center? Because parents have to be sure of what certification will that child get after completing that training.
In the olden days, we used to have city and gate certificates. The certificate that the Council of Registered Builders will be giving to those who are involved in the training now are equivalent to city and guide certificate. National Board of Technical Education is their certificate that will be awarded to those who are trained, and that certificate can give you leverage to become a member of Nigerian Institute of Building.
Now, conclusively, can this NBTE certificate awarded to those who have completed the training, can it also further qualify them to go ahead and become professional builders?
Yes, that's exactly what we are saying. That's an entry level. The certificate make you to enter. That's the entry level of the institute. Then you can now face the challenge of writing the exam, moving into the cadre, to the highest cadre.
Thank you for informing us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that information.
Thank you very much.
We just heard from the experts that training for building artisans is all-encompassing, covering theory but much more practical competence in building specification and materials management. We will be back after this break. Please stay with us. An archway is the passageway under an arch. They are the structural elements of a building that span a gap and support the structure, which have been used in buildings for nearly 4,000 years, most famously by the ancient Romans, because not only do they have a structural function, but look great too. If you're designing a new building or preparing a brief for an architect, it is a good idea to incorporate an archway or two as a feature.
that regular training and retraining of building artisans leads to quality workmanship, upon which the property and infrastructural sector rests on. Thanks for watching. Join us for another edition next week. I am Remi Oladende.